I'm here with the NXT champ, Aleister Black. Aleister, how does it feel to be at Download Festival?
Insane. It's awesome. Like, you don't write them like this. It's so cool. Like, what better clash of worlds than having professional wrestling and metal music combined?
A lot of people say that like NXT is almost like the cool brand of WWE. I mean, it's all awesome, but like it's the cool brand. Raw and SmackDown not get to go to Download Festival. Do you think that's one of the great points of being the NXT champ?
I mean, each brand brings something different, and you know, we can intertwine better with stuff as Download, simply because the way we build and set up NXT is much more towards that type of crowd. And I think that a lot of kids that follow wrestling are alternative kids, and this just mashes really well.
Did you grow up with WWE as your end game? Was that your main goal growing up and when you were training to be a pro wrestler?
No. So when I started back in 2000, which is now 18 years ago, obviously WWE at the time was the land of the giants, and I am by no shape or way or size a giant. Yeah. I am 6 feet and I'm 250 pounds now. Now, back in the day when I started, I was barely 140 pounds, and I wanted to do what was obtainable. Was I a fan of WWE? Yeah, of course. But I also knew that it was not going to be a thing for me up to the part where NXT came more to the foreground, and a lot of my friends that I was competing against on the independent scene were getting signed, and I was like, wait a minute. Something's changing, and the landscape of professional wrestling really changed when NXT brought in. NXT brought something to professional wrestling that wasn't done at the time. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, it brought so many different characters and so many different styles to the light, and it just became more accessible to me. And then all of a sudden, here's an email in my inbox, and I'm like, the thing that I once thought was never obtainable for me was now obtainable.
So now, not only is it obtainable, you are the champion. I hope you don't mind me touching your belt. I apologize.
It's okay.
But like, there's a track record of everybody who's held the gold. They've gone on to great things on the main roster. Is that something you think about, or do you just focus on being the champion of NXT?
It is definitely like, it's a lot of pressure, because the people who have held this belt, I mean, you look at the Shinsuke Nakamura's, the Bobby Roodes, the Finn Balor's, the Samoa Joes, even traveling back to the Seth Rollins and the Big E's. Like, it's the heritage that this belt has is endless, and it's heavy. Yeah. So I have a big responsibility to do right by this belt and do right by NXT and WWE as the brand holder and the title holder of this company.
Now, one thing that I'm always impressed by with your work is the fact that you came up with an original taunt. I call it a taunt. I don't know if you used to play WWF No Mercy on the N64, but your character would do their taunt, like Stone Cold, it was the middle finger.
You would press the D-pad up button. And
that was it, and they'd do it. And you came up with the sit down, right?
Yeah.
No one's done that before. Was it difficult to try and come up with something that was completely original?
I did that way before I got signed.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I would used to just roll in the ring, and I would like sit in the middle of the ring like that, waiting for my opponents to come in. That's what I did.
And what about finishing moves? Because finishing moves, every single one of them's been done so far, you feel like, anyway, and it must be difficult to come up with an original one. You managed to do that as well.
It just comes from my background, like my background in martial arts. Back in 2005-06, I started going back to kickboxing, and I just felt that I needed something in my style that wasn't seen very much. And I'm not gonna stand there and say like, oh, I invented the knee strike, or I invented the spinning heel, because I didn't. Yeah. But the way I did them, you know, with the switching knee strike back in 2007-08, and the spinning heel kick the way that I did it, because I never seen a spinning heel kick that went to someone's face. Yeah. I seen it where they would hit the calf from the chest or like towards the face, but I would never see someone with their heel or their tip of their toes connecting someone. I've seen leaping knee strikes where people would jump with their knee forward, but I never saw people doing it from a Muay Thai type of way, which is, you know, a big part of my background. Yeah. So I just figured out ways how I could implement that in professional wrestling and make it mine, and that's kind of the two techniques that I chose. And then especially the spinning heel kick stood out so much that it was just something that just stuck with me, and I kept. And even here in NXT, like that's where we went for. Just when nobody thought you could do sweet chin music better than Shawn Michaels, you added a twist to it, right? Pretty much, yeah. Well, you know, I appreciate you saying that. That's high praise. Yeah, I mean, if you wanna stand out, you're gonna have to come up with things that no one else does, and it takes a lot of hard work, but like I said, I started 18 years ago, so this is a process and a journey of like trying and evolving for 18 years, and at some point you just like, you grab some stuff and you throw it against the wall, you see what sticks, and even if sometimes that sticks, that might not be it, but you grab it back and you mold it again, and you just keep trying and perfect yourself. That's what I do continuously. Yeah.
Just briefly, we mentioned Shawn there. I imagine you see quite a lot of him since he's been working with NXT.
Yeah.
What do you make of his comment recently that he'd be up for another match?
I read that. I was very intrigued. I think as a wrestler, as a performer, you know, that bug that never dies. Yeah. I truly hope that he will come back for one more. I have, in the back of my head, I have a few things that I would like to see. Obviously, I've connected myself to those things as well.
Of course.
And
I'd like to see that.
We're gonna find out, and if he does, man, like it's gonna be fantastic.
Does he ever get in the ring, like training-wise, for NXT? Do you think he can still go?
I know he can still go.
Right.
I know he can still go. He can go. Don't worry about that.
And he's got the abs and everything. He's looking great.
Yeah, he looks insane.
Last question, Daniel Bryan or AJ, if you had to pick between those two for Shawn's opponent?
Oh, wow, that is... So, you're asking me to pick the two guys that are arguably the best in their game, best in the game, you know, because like each opponent, each competitor has a specific thing that makes them rank to the top of the world.
Yeah.
I think I would like to see AJ more, only because Shawn had a big hand in training Daniel and would have an advantage.
There you go.
However, that being said, then you can work with the student versus teacher aspect of it. But I like it. I think I would like it to be AJ. Sorry, Daniel.
It's fine. Do you mind if I see how heavy the belt is?
Yeah.
Look at that! Strapped by Aleister Black himself. Thanks so much.
Oh, good man. Don't walk away with that now.
What?